Welcome to Proust My Startup, the podcast that offers you a glimpse at the personalities of the people that make the local startup ecosystem in Malaysia. I'm Vanessa Muledus, aka Brand Shifu with an H on Instagram, the founder of North Branding Consulting Boutique Agency. I'm a brand strategist, 24/7 immersed by the sides of entrepreneurs, startups, and SME founders. As a brand consultant, a mentor, but also an entrepreneur program facilitator, an investment jury, and a business angel. In Proust My Startup, I want to really discover who are the people that make our local startup ecosystem. Because I'm a brand strategist, I want to understand how their personal brand might influence or shape the corporate brand of their organization. Today's episode is recorded from CloudMile's Center of Excellence in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Startups thrive on innovation, and CloudMile is here to fuel that journey. As a leading AI and cloud technology company in Asia, they help businesses drive digital transformation and growth, leveraging machine learning, big data, and cloud solutions. With a team made up of certified technical experts and a strong network of technology partners, including being one of just 40 Google Cloud Managed Services providers globally, CloudMile has supported more than 1,200 companies through consulting, technical, and managed services. I've seen it firsthand with my own mentees, tech startup founders. Their Center of Excellence in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, now offers startups a collaborative space to explore generative AI, data management, security, and more, and advance their digital competitiveness with cloud and AI adoption. So if, like them, you want to experience it yourself, visit today my.cloud.
Today's guests are Frank Kang, Country Manager at Antler Malaysia, and Ashvin Praveen, CEO and co-founder at Cleve.ai. Ashvin is one of Antler's portfolio company for this cohort. So today we speak acceleration of very, very early stage startups. So buckle up and let's take a deep dive. What is your idea of perfect happiness?
Oh, wow. So difficult. Freedom. Can I answer like in one vocabulary? One sentence? Yeah. Curiosity.
What is your greatest fear?
Being forgotten by people or family, whoever I know. I'd say death for now. Yeah, in your age, yes. Yeah. I was like that before, yes, true.
What is the trait you most deplore in yourself?
Fear. Being funny.
What is the trait you deplore in others?
Dishonest.
Yeah, I was gonna say something like being like not true to who you are.
Integrity.
Yeah.
What living person do you most admire?
It was my friend, my previous co-founder. After exit, he's not working anymore and being very free, not like me.
Someone I admire right now. I read Sam Altman's work quite a lot and follow his work quite closely. Yeah.
What is your greatest extravagance?
Of course, singing, music.
Yeah. Right now it's fitness and like going to the climbing gym and stuff.
What is your current state of mind?
Not right now. Too bright. No, happy to be here. Yes, excited.
Yeah, kind of nervous, but quite having fun.
What do you consider the most overrated virtue?
Virtue.
Playing by the rules.
Capitalism.
Whoa.
On what occasion do you lie?
When I feel like the game's not fair.
I refuse to answer the question.
What do you most dislike about your appearance?
Oh, I'm too red.
I've got a bunch of pimples right now.
I had one here just now, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Stress or something.
Which living person do you most despise? And please, no name.
Oh, politicians who use a lot of anger and like emotion to sway people.
So no name here, right? Adam Smith. I'm actually more supportive to non-capitalism. I didn't say the opposite word exactly.
What is the quality you must like in a man?
To make women happy.
Oh. Grit.
What is the quality you must like in a woman?
Being patient.
Which words or phrases do you most overuse?
Awesome.
So F word is not allowed. I was thinking. Okay. Maybe shit or anything.
What or who is the greatest love of your life?
My wife. Sorry, my wife. My wife. Yeah.
My girlfriend.
Where or when were you the most happy?
Spending time with my family.
Like hiking at one of the peaks of this mountain in India.
Which talent would you most like to have?
Singing, I guess.
Playing the drums, I guess.
If you would change one thing in yourself, what would it be?
If I could turn back the time with all knowledge that I have for now, I might invest in Tesla, Bitcoin. Yeah, if I can change that.
I could change. Actually, pass. I think it's pretty okay.
Wow.
What do you consider your greatest achievement?
3 kids, 3 sons.
No kids.
Hey, birth rate is a problem. How many?
If you were to die and come back as a thing or a person, what would it be?
Woman.
Okay. Sorry.
Dangerous? Yeah.
Okay. As a person or a thing? Like, like a dog? No.
Okay. Hey, keep it, right?
Where would you like most to live?
Sarawak?
Singapore.
That's within reach.
What is your most treasured possession?
Possession. Belongings. My Bitcoin wallet.
Really?
You know how much I have?
Treasured possession. Huh.
Absolute amount of value.
My relationships with my family.
What do you regard as the lowest depth of misery?
Losing help.
Yeah, losing health.
What is your favorite occupation?
Singer. K-pop star.
That's intense though. Yeah. But yeah, probably musician.
Oh.
What is your most marked characteristic?
Singer, singing.
Huh. Like fun.
What do you value most in your friends?
Integrity. Honesty.
I think, I don't know, for me, integrity and honesty is a default if they're my friends in the first place. What I value would probably be like, yeah, curiosity.
Who are your favorite writers?
Right now, Naval Ravikant. Yeah, Sam Altman.
I forgot. I mean, Murakami Haruki. The Norwegian Murakami. Murakami Haruki.
Who is your hero of fiction?
One above all.
Like Harry Potter.
Which historical figure do you most identify with?
Musicians.
Specific historical figure. Damn, I don't know enough history.
It doesn't have to be one.
But it
thing,
could be,
right?
yeah. So like, yeah, I think like world leaders in the 18th century. I feel like they were really tough. Yeah. Don't know how they did it.
Who are your heroes in real life?
My wife. She's raising 3 kids. I'm also working.
Can I say Frank?
Keep it, please.
What are your favorite names?
Names? Ashvin?
Lizzie and Rashad, my co-founders.
Mm. Jenny?
What is it that you most dislike?
Dishonesty.
I guess, yeah. Like being fake.
What is your greatest regret?
Actually, I'm still like I'm 26, so like don't have enough life experience to regret that much. I think. Yeah, it's
Still being 26.
yeah.
That I didn't start my first startup earlier, even.
How would you like to die?
Oh, I have a very clear answer for this. I tell everyone, I will work until the last moment. I'll never retire. I'll work like full time until my last day.
Yeah, naturally.
What is your motto?
Treat everything as an experiment.
Oh, it's French, so my accent is really bad.
Oh, favorite motto?
Yeah, carpe diem.
Oh.
It's Latin. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's even worse. Carpe diem. Yeah.
This episode is also sponsored by Hippies, and I want to thank you for supporting this show. Hippies is the go-to talent partner for scaling up startups in Malaysia and across Southeast Asia. Whether you're building your first tech team or recruiting that game-changing head of growth, Hippies gets it done. They're not your typical recruiters. They are builders themselves, backed by real industry experience and a strong regional presence in Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. Hippies Tribe is fast, sharp, and human. They don't just fill roles. They help you build momentum. And if you're a candidate listening, trust me, they will help you find a role that feels right, not just one that looks good on paper. This is what I really value in Hippies. They come from the field, from the real startup ecosystem. They too know what building a startup or working in that fast-paced and demanding environment means. Like they say, Hippies is for the bold, by the bold. So check them out on hippies.com or drop them a DM on LinkedIn. So now, can you introduce your organization in a 1-minute elevator pitch?
Antler is a global VC firm. We are operating in 30 different countries in 6 continents. What makes Antler outstanding from the other VCs is that we are running 10 weeks of residency program, and founders who want to start something, but they don't know how to start, where to start, whom to start with, they come join the program, and then they find a co-founder, and then they develop their ideas, and then they validate throughout 10 weeks, and in the end, pitch to investment committee and they get investment. So and that's why we call ourselves a day zero investor, right? Even before early stage V's come in, we are propelling the top of the funnel in the startup ecosystem.
Why are you on Earth for?
Antler's vision is always founders first, right? We believe exceptional founders are from anywhere in the world, right? And some of them, even though they have this great capability, right? As I mentioned, they might not know how to start, whom to start, with, right? Because it's basically the way they haven't been to yet, right? So Antler's vision is to help support these founders to kickstart their journey as entrepreneur. And that's not all, that's not it, because we're not like just VCs just investing money and as observe, right? We actually support the founders or startups from inception until the later stage of their life cycle, right? Because we invest in, again, pre-seed day zero, right? And after that, subsequently, right, for example, Ashvin invested in about 1.5 years ago, right? But until now, we're still keeping this good relationship, like coaching session, right? If he needs any help, right, then always come to me, right? Now, actually, we're sitting in the same office space, right, to do some intense growth hacking challenge, right? But anyways, that's how we support the founders team, like, more longer terms, right? And then even the later stage of the company, right? We do have the fund which can invest in larger amount of funding, right? As well as the support throughout our global network. That's why our relationship with all portfolio companies and the portfolio companies very close, right? Even until it's a later stage.
Can I add on? So I think Antler fundamentally gives anyone the opportunity to figure out and to pursue their goals of building a tech startup specifically, in a world where without the expertise, the knowledge, the resources, you have no clue about how to navigate this, and you have no clue how to even get started. And I think there's a lot of really capable, passionate people around the world who can build incredible things and create immense value, but have no clue about how to create that. And I think that's actually the biggest thing that Antler has done for me and for many of my friends as well who have gone through the program, really giving that roadmap and giving that guidance on where to go next when you want to, do interesting, fun things in life.
What people do you want to resonate with?
As I said, we're running 10 weeks residency program, right? And the target audience are someone like Ashwin, obviously, right? Someone actually consists of ex-founders, right? Or as I said, people wants to start something, but they don't know yet, right? And they're coming into the 10 weeks of program and then figure out what to do, right? Whether it's the right fit to them, is the right culture for them, right? Or they can find their co-founder, etc., right? And then they decide right after 10 weeks, right? So again, doors open for everyone who wants to build next unicorn, right? But also we do not take just anyone, right, as well. Every cohort, we start with about 60 to 70 founders. But in order for us to select 60, 70 founders, there will be about 2,000 applications in Malaysia context. And then, of course, we run this extensive interview processes, selection processes, and only accept 60 to 70 founders. And those are our target audiences who are spending 10 weeks together.
So I think generally, for me personally, I was I knew I wanted to get into this space, into the tech space, and understand how the tech space works. I think lots of people like me are ambitious and want to build things. But yeah, it's if you've had these ideas baking in your head, if you've been trying to figure out how to, or doing these little experiments to try and get validation or to build a business, but it's still kind of you don't have the proper frameworks on how to do it. I think that's where programs like Antler especially give you that support in making those dreams a reality.
How different are you from your competitors?
So as I mentioned, right, we are day zero investor, right? So most of the VCs are investing into the company or businesses which is already up and running, right? At least have some tractions, right? But Antler is investing into founders who do not even have a company, right? So most of the teams that in the end of 10 weeks, we made decision to invest. The first thing they do is start to incorporate their company first, right? So that's how early we're investing, right? So the good thing about this is, as an entrepreneur previously, right, I personally think that what do VCs know about my business kind of thing, right? Of course, as an operator perspective, right? Because I'm pitching to the VC for 30 minutes, right? And the 1 hour and they're sending some materials, right? And then just reading it, listening to 1 hour, and what do they know about, right? But once I put my shoe into their, once I put into their shoes, I realized that because they don't know, right? Great VCs are really great, right? They try really their best to understand, read the future, right? Invest onto the best teams or companies or businesses, right? So I guess, we observe the founders for 10 weeks, right? Instead of just reading the papers, right? Reading their pitch book, pitch deck, etc., right? We actually work together, right? Intensely, right? And then see how founders are developing their idea from scratch, right? And then we're giving tough questions, we're giving a boot camp, right? Intense sort of activities, right? And then see how founders are sort of overcoming or responding or navigating through, right, the whole journey. And then we can have this 3D sort of understanding of the founders, not just on paper itself, right? So that's how we try to make more founder-centric decision investment, right? And also we involved in this ideation or like problem statements or like building the business from scratch together. That's how I also guide and support them to build right VC backable business, as we say. Mm-hmm.
I think Frank talked about the intensity of the Antler program, and they really spend a lot of time during the 12 weeks. Can't be understated. I think it was kind of like brushed along in that segment, but it is intense. I think it's kind of like you're put in a pressure cooker for that 12 weeks to accelerate basically what would usually take 6 months of early stage development, validation, getting, I think a lot of us, when we went through the program, we were quite surprised by what we would achieve. Especially sometimes in 2 or 3 weeks, the business can go from zero validation to like, oh, we've got a couple of LOIs, and like a lot can change, right? And I think that's the kind of experience which you don't really hear of in many other places. And the fact that it's happening all over the world, in Malaysia even, you don't have to fly to the US and get the experience there. And it's really impacting people in Thailand, in Malaysia. I'm not sure about Thailand. Is there an Antler? Okay, not yet. Vietnam, yeah.
Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore.
In Southeast Asia, yeah. So yeah, I think that part is really interesting, and you get to see lots of other founders. I think that peer-to-peer learning during that 12-week period, where everyone is going through this level of intensity together, it forces a lot of you to come together, work together, solve problems in unique ways.
I like pressure cooker. Yeah, peer pressure.
That'll be on the marketing website.
What do you promise to those people?
I think our main products. So our main product we're providing is a culture, right? So as I said, there are ex-founders, of course, who have experienced what's being like an entrepreneur, but also many founders coming into the program. Most of them, their like current position or their professional career track record were not non-entrepreneurial jobs most of the time, right? So we're providing this pressure cooker circumstances, right? Environment that the founders are really testing their limit, push their limit, right? And then see, wow, okay, this is a life of culture of entrepreneur, right? You can do this, like spend this intense time with probably 60 most amazing like entrepreneurs or founders, right? With the feeling the peer pressure, right? And then brainstorming each other kind of stuff, right? And then, like we're providing that platform, that culture to the people, right? In the end, the founders who can really think, oh, this is my right way to go, right? And then they come up with the right problem statements and then, like business ideas, then we're investing into them, right? So I think the culture, entrepreneurship or founders culture is the main product we're providing. But on top of that, we're not just an accelerator, we're VC essentially, right? So we're investing into the company or teams, right? Not all of them will get investment, unfortunately, but the teams who are passing the investment committee, we invest 110,000 US dollars as a first check. And we also recently rolled out our Antler rolling capital, which can invest up to 600,000 US dollars.
I think the main value is the people that you meet along the way. There are not that many kind of environments where number one, you're surrounded by so much capable talent. People who, many of them have become my long-term friends. They're the people who, I think starting a company is so hard, and there's only few people who can relate to the challenges. But the best part about Antler is everyone starts at the same time. So you have a peer group and a community of other founders who are also have gone through the same level of experiences, are in the same level of have the same level of motivation as you. And when like a lot of times when I'm banging into walls at night, the people that I'd call are my Antler portfolio company, other founders as well who I met during the Antler program. Yeah, and I think that's really that network and that community and those people who are doing impressive things, even those who didn't get funded. I've heard so many stories about how the mindsets and the things that they've learned through the program has totally changed the way they work. And yeah, they're still, many of them are still my friends today. And yeah, they're the people I call at night when I'm banging into walls.
Any hot news to share with us?
So Antler's running 2 cohorts, 2 programs per year. Our next upcoming program is scheduled for starting from 14th April 2025, and subsequent one will be sometime around October, right? So currently we're open for intake for this next cohort, upcoming cohort, which is MY4. So if anyone is interested in Antler program, right, who wants to start your journey, right, and then you need money, you need a co-founder, you need some coach, or you need some fun culture, then please check out antler.co/Malaysia. So antler.co/Malaysia, or you can find me on LinkedIn, Frank Kang, or Antler Malaysia, funding VC, right? So yeah, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.
Yep. And I'm Ashvin Praveen on LinkedIn.